everybody finishes up their revisions from their tag feedback in Google Classroom, you're going to save your revised Kaleidoscopes as JPEGs, and we're going to continue with an Adobe Spark presentation. We want to show our work, the hard work that we did for all of our Kaleidoscopes, and we're going to add in some of the feedback and how you apply that to your actual Kaleidoscopes. So first thing we need to do is create an Adobe Spark account. So if you go to the plus sign here, and we can type in Adobe Spark. Some of you might already have an Adobe Spark account created. We used them last semester for painting class. Some students already have one for communications class. Those of you that have one can click sign in. If you do not, you can click on the Start Now button. Okay, and you are going to log in with a school account, and you're going to click on Create an Account. Here's where you can put your email address, your first and your last name, create a password, put in your date of birth, and then click Create Account. It's going to prompt you to a few more questions about what you're going to use your account for. You're going to fill those out. And then you should be able to log in to your personal account using Google. I already have one, so I am going to go back here and sign in with Google. So I already have one, so I'm going to continue with Google. Use my school one. And I'm going to do my Adobe ID personal account. And it should bring up this home page for everybody. Okay, so this kind of shows you all the different templates that Adobe Spark has. It's really good for creating presentations, invitations, web pages, all kinds of different projects and such. So we're going to click on the plus sign, and we are going to create a web page. Okay, so here's where you're going to start. It obviously starts out blank. There's a few editing tools in Adobe Sparks. It really kind of does the work for you so that it looks visually pleasing. So for your title, you can just type in Kaleidoscope. Or you could do Shapes Kaleidoscopes or Shape Kaleidoscopes. Okay. Kaleidoscopes. For the subtitle, I could put my name in there. I could put the year 2021. Okay, so right now I have the option to put a photo in behind this text. Sometimes it lets you like find a free photo. So maybe I want to do, see if they have any kaleidoscopes. Something comes up cool that you might want to put in there. Or you could put your own photo in there. Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay, then we are going to add in your four first kaleidoscopes that you created. So I like to do the photo grid. There's many options here. You can add one photo, you can add text. We're going to do the photo grid. You could also do a glide show, which I'm going to go through at the end, and then the split layout, which I'm going to go through in a few minutes. So photo grid. Here's where you can start adding in your photos. So we're not going to use their photos. We are going to upload our own photos. So I already did this demonstration with my first hour class. So my folder is already open, but yours is probably going to look something like this. So then you can go ahead and click on my folder, computer graphics, and then you can see I've got my JPEG versions here. You can also change the view of your folder. It might just be the words right now, but you can click on this arrow and change it to large icons so you can actually see. So I'm just going to go through and put in my four originals. Okay, so Kaleidoscope 1 of 4. And it's going to put it in there pretty big. The more I start putting in, the smaller they're going to get. depending on how many I put in, but we're all going to be putting 4 in because that was the assignment. Okay, so see how they're already getting smaller. I'm going to add in my third one, and then finally my fourth one, and add in my original one. Okay, once you get these in here, there's a few things you can change. You can change the order of them by moving forward or backward. Okay, you can delete them by clicking on the garbage can. You can make them large if you want. So when you scroll through, they are large images. I'm going to keep them small because I'm going to make them large using the glide show towards the end. Okay, so then I can hit save. So this is what I've got so far: shape kaleidoscopes, fire as in 2021, picture in the background. Scroll down, I can add a caption, my original designs. Okay, then I really want to go into the feedback that I received. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to suggest doing a split layout because that way I can put the photo next to the tag feedback. So for me in particular, I received a lot of feedback on this fourth kaleidoscope. So I'm going to add a picture of the kaleidoscope that my peers gave me. Okay, so I've got my picture here. You can hit this little arrow to flip-flop them, so you can have your picture on your left or your right. And then I'm going to go hit the plus sign and add in some text. So this is where I'm going to go to my Google Classroom, and I am going to scroll down. I was the first person to post, so here's my feedback. Now, I only received feedback from 2 people, so it's really easy for me to just go ahead and copy this and then come over here and paste it. For your particular feedback, it might be different than mine. And mine is really only based on my G for the bottom right piece and for the bottom right kaleidoscope. They're both talking about this particular kaleidoscope. So for my particular Adobe Spark presentation, this makes sense. Okay, so Elijah responded, Sean responded to this. So I can have that in there. And then I can do another split layout, and I can add an image of my revision here. Okay, so this is my revised design. And then I'm just going to have you take a few minutes, and I'm just going to have you write about what you changed in this design. So based on my feedback from Elijah and Sean, I needed to rework the background in my fourth kaleidoscope. Not spelled kaleidoscope today. O-D-O-S-C-O-P. Oh my gosh, so many E's. It's like my last name. So I deleted the black background and added in a new layer, playing with different color options. I tried white, light yellow, teal, and even a red-orange before finding the bubblegum pink that I personally liked the best. Okay, so I've got a few sentences there. I really tell the viewer what I was doing and why I did it. Okay, so again, this is totally different for every single person, depending on the feedback you receive, depending on the revisions that you made. Make sure you're thorough and this makes sense to your viewers. Also double check your spelling there. Okay, so this is basically what I need to show my viewers what I've done with the process of creating these 4-shaped kaleidoscopes. If you've done revisions on more than one, I would recommend doing the split layout and doing the same thing for Kaleidoscope 2, Kaleidoscope 3, and keep going with that. So you might have 4 pages of the split layout with a little bit of writing with your revision on the side. Okay, one last thing I want to show you because it looks kind of cool with these kaleidoscopes. And I'm honestly a little bit sad that it changes the size so that they're rectangles. What I found is that if you do a glide show, it actually brings up the picture as a whole. So I'm just going to show you really quick how to do that. So I'm going to come back here in between my first page and my second page, and I'm just going to put 4 glide shows in there. So glide show, and I'm just going to do them in order. So I'm going to start with my first kaleidoscope and hit save. So it kind of makes like a little bit of a glide as you scroll through. And I can hit the plus sign here and I can go to photo, and I'm going to add in another photo of that actual kaleidoscope. And I'm going to add in a title here for this. I'm just going to make this up. Trying to think, I named this something before. Now I forgot what the name was. So I'm just going to put blank in there now so I have time later to go in and change that. And I'm going to do the same thing with my remaining 3. Okay, you can also go to preview and you can just take a peek at what this is going to look like once it's totally finished and published. Okay, so as I scroll through, checking my spelling, making sure the placement of things makes sense and looks nice. I have to go back and change this to the title that I named it. Okay, and we're really just looking for a nice little show of your process and what you are doing and the revisions that you made. That's an important part of this, why you changed it. I'm really looking for depth in this writing here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I can X out of that, and then I'm just going to hit my share button and I'm going to publish and share the link here. So I'm just going to create the link and I'm going to copy. This link is what you're going to put into Google Classroom assignments.